Thanks for tuning into Within the Frame. I'm Janet.
And I'm Richard.
And today we're going to start off talking about some AZ film news.
She looks at me like she's like, Richard, say it. The first one we have up is
Porches
and
Private Eyes.
Private Eyes opens this week at the Alamo Drafthouse, 1 p.m. on Sunday. So guys, go check it out.
It's actually produced by a local AZ film producer that is really well known around here. He's produced a lot of different films, feature films, short films, and his...
Probably should say his name, Travis Mills.
Probably
should say his name.
Yeah, and his most recent one was Durant Never Closes, and that was pretty big.
Yeah.
I think right now it's actually in Zia Records for purchase.
It might be. You can watch it on Amazon.
Yeah, which is really cool. And then the Chandler Film Festival, you guys went to
Chandler
it.
International Film Festival. Yeah, I was there for the opening ceremonies. I sadly couldn't make it the other 2 days, but it was really cool. It was, this big old event they had. They had their own red carpet and, dinners and whatnot. It was nice to see all these people kind of coming together.
Did you see any films?
I didn't get to watch any of the films. I was just meeting people and talking to people, but we do have a highlight reel to show you guys, so take a look.
Count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Chandler International Film Festival!
All right.
The city of Chandler hosted the first Chandler International Film Festival from January 13th to the 15th at Soho 63 in downtown Chandler. The 3-day event began with a red carpet walk, a cocktail party, and an opening ceremony attended by many community representatives, including Chandler Mayor J. Tip Schraney.
Thanks for the opportunity to be with you tonight as we kick off this great event. Being in the middle of the awards season, this is a great reminder to all of us about the power and the impact of a well-told story. And perhaps there's no medium that can carry that story like film.
Other community representatives and celebrities who attended the event included Chandler Chamber of Commerce CEO Terry Kimball, producer, director, and actor Tank Jones, former NFL kicker Nick Lowery, and producer, director, actor Jack Millard. The festival showcased nearly 100 movies of varying genres and included feature films, documentaries, shorts, and even music videos by filmmakers from around the world.
Know that this is a film festival here, and we bringing the filmmaker from around the world. And the movies also, from all over the world, it's coming here. This is the first year, so people don't know it's gonna work well or not. So that's the first difficulty. But then we make it, we show them, what we are doing it, how dedicated we are. I even show my background that, I'm in the film industry, so, we know that, how we can make it. And so far, last night, what we have, it was great success.
The 3-day event culminated in a celebratory dinner and ceremony where 11 awards were handed out, including People's Choice Award for the movie Ham and Best Picture for the movie Life of Significant Soil.
Thanks a lot. I truly wasn't expecting this. I'm from Tempe, and it's so great to show my movie in my hometown. It really is a pleasure.
The Chandler International Film Festival is expected to run again next year and will be an annual Arizona festival hosted by the city of Chandler. Kevin Perry, Within the Frame.
The first bit of big news we have is Dwayne Johnson, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, as people should be calling him. I don't know why he's dropped the Rock part of him. That's what he'll always be, The Rock. Has confirmed that his Black Adam character, which he was cast as, I want to say 2 years ago, for the Shazam movie. Well, Shazam is now being split into 2 movies, with Black Adam getting a solo film, and as well as a Shazam movie. So
That's kind of cool. I feel like I didn't know too much about it, but just knowing that The Rock is gonna get 2 films is like
you just like more Rock. the Rock's always a good answer.
He's so awesome. I love him.
He's just right behind you right now, looking at you.
I wish.
But it's interesting for me because it's like, yeah, when they cast him as Black Adam, I remember thinking like that's such a to get a megastar like The Rock, who everybody loves as the villain. I was wondering like how big a role is he going to have in the Shazam movie because he's not the main character.
Yeah.
And he just had a meeting with DC. He tweeted about it on Instagram and Twitter about how bright things ahead of the DC universe, for the film universe. And just the idea of Black Adam getting a film before Shazam is interesting because I think it's a good way to set up, if it comes first, to set up the main villain for the movie.
Yeah.
So kind of see like his side of the story, and then we introduce the hero who will fight the villain. So that way, when we see his movie, we're gonna maybe have a little bit more investment in the conflict.
Exactly. Then we're gonna know a lot more of like why the villain is the way he is, and like just not because I hate when films like just they show a villain and they don't really tell you like why he's the way he is, you know, what makes him a villain, and like not. I feel like a lot of the Batman films really do a good job of like showing the villain as someone that actually has, you know, three-dimensional characteristics.
I'd say those early Batman movies are nothing but villain movies, just with Batman as like a guest star.
Yeah, but like The Dark Knight
Yeah, Dark Knight.
and stuff like that. So I don't know, and The Rock.
It's, like I will say that like DC, what are you doing? Like how many movies can you confirm?
Yeah.
How many movies can you announce and not make yet? Like
Hopefully this one like is actually a good.
can we just let's get it moving because we've announced Gotham City Sirens and Green Lantern Corps and Black Adam and Shazam, and we also have Flash and Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Justice League still in development, and a new Batman movie and a new Superman movie. It's like, let's get these movies actually going.
Yeah. Agreed.
The next story we have up.
I think we just have trailers, right?
No, we also have.
Oh, there's a 20th Century Women
Yes, that's the one.
movie.
Yes, 20th Century Women, which, as a lot of you know, opens this week nationwide. And do you want to say a little bit about it?
Yeah. So in order to support Planned Parenthood, they're donating 50% of their profits for the opening weekend. Whoever goes and buys tickets to go see 20th Century Women. So I think that's awesome.
That's a pretty.
That's something that I don't think has anyone ever done that before. Any studio?
Not that I can think of like on this big a scale.
Yeah.
And I think it's, you know, who says you can't see a good movie and do something good for the community? So put your money where your mouth is, everybody.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm gonna go see this weekend.
Yeah.
The other bit of news we have is this tragic passing of Miguel Ferrer, who was, as many of you know, from RoboCop, and he was in movies like Iron Man 3. He was the voice of the villain in Mulan. He was on NCIS Los Angeles, and he was the voice of Vandal Savage on Young Justice. He passed away yesterday. He was actually the cousin of George Clooney. I didn't know that actually.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was just such a tragic loss. He's such a great character actor,
Mm-hmm.
and it was even not. I don't want to say sadder because it's just sad in general, but they had just announced him as the voice of one of the characters in the new animated Justice League cartoon or the new animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that right when they announced him, and then like 3 hours later, we got the news that he passed away. So
Wow, that's really sad.
yeah. And then I believe the next bit of news we have is Green Lantern casting. This one actually came up early this morning. Actually, I was actually on my way here when the news broke.
Yeah.
So
It's a bunch of different people that might be casted as Green Lantern.
yep, it was the Wrap that reported on it, and the list includes Tom Cruise.
Ryan Reynolds again.
Right, again. we'll talk about that later. Armie Hammer from The Lone Ranger and The Social Network.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Bradley Cooper, and Joel McHale from Community. What do you think of any of these choices?
I mean, I think all of them are pretty reasonable. I mean, I don't
Except
think anyone.
Reynolds.
I don't think anyone wants to see Ryan Reynolds again as Green Lantern. But I definitely would be interested to see the rest of them. I mean, I'm a huge Jake Gyllenhaal fan. I don't know if I want to see him as the Green Lantern though. I feel like if it's not done well, it's gonna leave like a bad taste in my mouth for Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Or Bradley Cooper, or like I don't know.
I mean, did you see Prince of Persia?
No, I didn't.
So luckily, okay, so you missed one bad Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw Ryan Reynolds, I was like, okay, this has to be fake. There's no way this can be real. Because, first of all, why would Warner Brothers think to invest money in bringing Ryan Reynolds back? Because do we really want to remind people of the last Green Lantern movie?
Yeah.
Let's not remind
And it's
them
kind
of
of weird. It's like, you know, when you reboot a film like that, you don't really bring back the same actor.
don't, especially when it was that bad of a movie. It's like saying we're going to redo Batman, we're going to reboot Batman, but we're going to bring George Clooney back. It's like,
Yeah.
no, we should not. Also, Deadpool made so many jokes at Green Lantern's expense. Does Warner Brothers really think, oh, he wants to come back? He wants to do this again.
It's a little weird.
As far as the other ones, I think Bradley Cooper is just like, that would have been a good choice like in 2009 or 2010.
Uh-huh.
Now it's like, okay.
Do you have any choices that like weren't there that you think could be?
Well, the ones that were there, Joel McHale from Community would be my choice.
Mm-hmm.
But that weren't there, I would say Jamie Dornan, who is Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey, would actually be an interesting choice. Or John Krasinski, who was Jim on The Office, would be my choices for Green Lantern. And this would be for the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Obviously, we're going to get also Jon Stewart What about you? Do you have any choices? Like,
No, I haven't thought about it. I don't know.
I can't think of
I
anybody.
can't think of anybody right now. Just Green Lantern. It's such a weird, film.
It's funny that we're talking about Green Lantern in 2 weeks. Like this is the second time we've talked.
Yeah.
I feel like I've mentioned Green
I
Lantern.
don't want to put anyone in that position just so that film can tank again. Like
want it to
that's
be-
what I'm thinking.
I want it to be good. I want it to be good because the first one was such a disappointment.
Yeah.
So let's hope. Okay, we can all pretty much say Ryan Reynolds isn't coming back. So guys, please let us know in the comment section who you want to be Green Lantern. Do you like the
Let's
actors?
do a Seth Rogen.
He's already been Green Hornet.
Exactly. Wouldn't that be weird?
I mean, it
And
really.
funny.
You know what's funny about that is actually back in like 2004 they were gonna make a comedy Green Lantern movie, like kind of done like The Mask, but with Jack Black as Green Lantern.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Honestly,
Let's just do something different with it. Let's just go crazy.
everybody is like how awful that would have been, but I would have been like, honestly, that sounds better than the movie we got.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, let us know who you want to be Green Lantern in the comments. Did you like the choices? Is there another actor you can think of? Is Tom Cruise too old to be Green
Shia
Lantern?
LaBeouf. Let's do
I think Shia LaBeouf should be Robin. Honestly, bring him into that new Batman movie.
Let's just throw people in there. Let's just see what happens.
Let's just throw people in there. So now we're gonna move on to some trailers.
Mhm.
What's the first one we're gonna talk about?
Power Rangers. Why not?
Why not?
Have you seen it? Yes, you have.
Yes,
of
I
course
did.
You have.
What do you mean? Of course I have. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I did.
Of course you have.
I don't know. It's like the same, like the first trailer. It was kind of like, okay. And then it really feels like it feels like it's going to be crappy.
Really?
Yeah, just like, I feel like it's trying to be too, appealing to a certain demographic and,
My demographic.
No, but even, I don't know, I just feel like it's too teenagery. I don't even know how to explain it, but the graphics are so over the top, and I feel like even the lines and the acting is a little weird. The story just seems kind of like, don't want to give them my money.
See, I wasn't a Power Rangers fan as a kid, so like I have no attachment to this franchise.
Yeah.
So when I saw the teaser trailer, I was like, okay, this is an interesting direction to take the franchise. It was very different from what I associated with Power Rangers. This trailer looks like how I imagine every little kid saw the Power Rangers. Like, they never saw those cheesy effects that like a lot of people did. This is what they saw in their mind, and now they have the budget to afford that.
Yeah, but like, okay, what did you think about the jokes at the end where it's like they were like showing their Power Ranger colors, and one of the characters is like, I'm black, and then the actual black character's like, no, you're not. Like, it's like such a dumb joke.
I thought it was fun. It called attention to the, they were gonna have to make that joke. They were gonna call attention.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's so, it's just gonna be, typical
Also,
Transformers, mainstream,
well,
whatever.
I could see that. I could see that. And what's funny is that they use the Kanye West song "Power."
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, why are they using Kanye West?
That was such
right
a
now?
cool song
It
choice.
is.
It's such a good way of getting you hyped for
But
the movie.
I don't think it's gonna fit with it.
I think at least for the marketing purposes, it fit because it was
Yeah.
a good way of selling the movie. And what's even funny though is that they used that song in the trailers for Fantastic Four, like in the TV spots.
And what did that happen?
Yeah, a lot of bad things happen. But I think it's a good song. I think it's a good fit. It certainly gets you hyped.
Yeah, but that's kind of not good when you think about it. They're using a song to hype you up, and the trailer itself isn't doing the job.
Well, there have been movies that have done that, trailers that have done that before. The Logan trailer did that a lot with the Johnny Cash, The Herd.
That song had a different style to it.
I would just say that I don't know. I personally am excited, because when something gets the movie treatment, like when something goes from like a television show or a cartoon or a comic book or a book to the movie, you expect it to be given like a certain level of treatment.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Like the first, like the
Did
90s.
you like the movie?
I liked the second one.
No, the recent.
Yeah, I liked the second recent one. I didn't like the first one, but the second recent one was just like a giant cartoon. And like this one, it's like, it looks like, teenagers with attitude. It looks like how you imagine. You see the robots, you see the big fighting. Teenagers with attitude. It's morphin' time. So, I mean, it's certainly, like I said, not a Power Rangers fan, but I'm kind of hyped for this movie now because it looked pretty awesome.
Let's hope it's awesome.
Teenagers, it's morphin' time. Go Power Rangers. That song is awesome. Even if I didn't like the show, I'll admit that theme song is awesome.
I liked how they threw the theme song at the very end.
What's the next trailer you're excited for, or we're gonna talk about?
What did we see?
Logan.
Logan. Oh yeah, we just mentioned Logan.
Yeah, second Logan trailer. What are your thoughts on it?
It reminded me of 11 for from Stranger Things when she's like in the convenience store or whatever, just kind of getting everything.
You know so badly. They probably have a take of her grabbing Eggos. You know they had that take.
I'm like, excuse me, little girl. It was exactly like 11. No, I liked it. It definitely gives you a better understanding of like who she is and kind of where the story's going. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I've made my very clear that I'm excited for Logan. It's in my top 3 most anticipated films of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And
did the trailer give you any new insight of the movie? Like, anything that you want to mention?
yes, the very fact that Wolverine's holding an X-Men comic.
Oh my God, yeah, that was so meta.
It was meta because I like the idea that the X-Men have become legends in this.
Yeah.
Basically, that now they've been immortalized in comic book form. That's the closest we're gonna see Wolverine into wearing the classic yellow costume. Is that comic book?
Yeah, and he was like, they got it all wrong.
Yeah, I think that was funny because
Yeah.
they did a similar joke like that in Hellboy.
Oh,
Where
really?
they acknowledge the Hellboy comics, and he's like, they never get the eyes right to explain why he has yellow eyes in the comics. So I thought that was funny.
I liked it.
But pretty much, yeah, just like you said, we get like the Stranger Things vibe. There's a line in the the R-rated cut of the trailer where Professor X is like, she's 11 and I'm 90, and I was like, she's 11, all right. She totally is.
I didn't see that one.
But I'm so excited. It's the idea, I'm excited, but I'm also like, please do not end. Just have it be a big practical joke that Hugh Jackman's going to be Wolverine for another 20 years.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. So
4 more years.
4 more years of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I had to say goodbye to one great figure today. I don't want to say goodbye to 2.
So what's another trailer?
Well, actually, that's done with trailers. Next up is your review of A Series of Unfortunate Events, or at least the first 3 episodes.
I know. So many people that I've talked to have already finished this season and posting about it all over, Twitter and Facebook. And I'm trying not to see any spoilers, but I did see the first 3 episodes. And what I can say is it was unexpected. I don't know the last time I watched the film, the Series of Unfortunate Events film that came out however many years ago, and then of course I read all the books when I was little, but then being reintroduced, it was awesome. The characters are just as outrageous and ridiculous as you imagine them to be. I'm not sure if I love the way it's being narrated, because Lemony Snicket is actually a character narrating the show, and I don't know, it's a little weird. And they always reiterate, like, turn back, don't watch this, do something else, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, that's kind of how the book is written, but it's also like, all right, I get it. 20 minutes of this. No, but I like it, and I can't wait to continue watching and seeing how it ends.
I don't have to check it out. I still have to.
It's fun.
I'm curious, because I saw the movie, and I thought, the movie was fine. I never had an attachment to the book, so. The trailer does look cool, though. Like, you see the ads for it.
It's fun. And the characters, their costumes, their makeup, everything is just, like, it's just aligns perfectly with the book. And they're so outrageous. It's so frustrating how, it's good frustrating. It's like, you want to be frustrated.
Things I've never said.
Like, how Olaf, his character, how, like, evil and sneaky he is. It's just like, how do you exist in this world? But, yeah, I like it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Let us know in the comments.
All right. Now we're going to move on to some reviews for some films we have. We've seen quite a few this week, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. First one we're going to talk about is the local film Durant Never Closes. That was directed by Travis Mills, whose film is coming up this week at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Mm-hmm.
We watched it. We both streamed it on Amazon Prime, which is where you can find it. For a lot of you who don't know, Durant's is a restaurant here in Phoenix, very legendary restaurant. Has a lot of history behind it, a lot of colorful history, and this film is basically like a biography on the man who founded it, Jack Durant, played by Tom Sizemore.
Mm-hmm.
And Janet, what did you think of it?
I thought it was very well shot. Actually, shout out to Nick Fornwalt. He DP'd one of my short films, and he was the DP for this one. So it's very beautiful. I love the lighting, the colors. I think they took on a really cool story and try to do some really unique things with it, as far as like dream sequences, flashbacks, a whole little twist at the end. To be honest, I really didn't know what year it was when I was watching it. I was like, all these characters in the back, like they're wearing like oldish clothes and
Oldish clothes is such a vague time period for you. It's like oldish clothes.
It could be like
from like the 1760s to
Yeah, it was
to
like
1960s. Janet's idea of oldish time.
where does this fit in? And then obviously at the very end, it kind of answers those questions. But yeah, I was really obviously intrigued to see such a big star like Tom Sizemore, doing such a smallish film in Arizona, and seeing how the director took that story and made it kind of something that I've never seen before.
Yeah, Peter Bogdanovich also popped up in there. I was like, what, Peter? How'd they get you?
Yeah.
You were in Phoenix?
Yeah, it was really cool. And I'm really happy to see that, these things are happening in Arizona, whether you know it or not. So definitely try to support them. Go check out their film in theaters this weekend for Porches and Eyes. Is that what it's called?
I forgot. God, we're terrible at this.
Porches and Private Eyes.
Porches
there you
and
go.
I was like, we were forgetting another P in there somewhere. I was like, I know the eyes part is right.
Yeah. What did you think?
Let's see. I watched it 2 nights ago actually, and the cinematography is great. Like I remember there's a shot of him walking past the kitchen, which anyone who's ever been to Durant knows. You go into the back so you can walk through the kitchen. No one goes to the front. You don't go through the front. And I thought that was a really well done shot. And obviously the restaurant has not changed much since it opened. So from a production design standpoint, it really looks accurate. There were some story issues, I think, that could have been worked on a little bit. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that just comes from the very fact that Jack Durant was such a big figure and he was such a prolific guy that there's so much embellishing with his stories that happen that he would embellish of his own life. So I think there's a lot of opportunities of stories that maybe were cut out that maybe should have been included, ones that weren't cut that were included that you kind of wonder why were they included.
Yeah, I feel like one of the issues that I had was the editing. It was I don't know. I feel like it wasn't edited as to tell the story for the audience to fully understand everything that's going on. That I feel like was my biggest issue with it.
Yeah, I would say the editing didn't bother me that way, but I would say just there was a certain flow to it.
Yeah.
That sort of just kept starting and stopping where I was just kind of it was a little hard at first to kind of adjust to find out, okay, what is flashback, what isn't. But yeah. I think the ambition behind the movie is what should be talked about and should be praised because, the fact of a movie of this size and this scale, a whole feature here made in Arizona with celebrity stars like this shows a certain craft and dedication, and the filmmakers, committed themselves. And what matters is they took a chance, and that should be applauded.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
So, guys, check out Durant Never Closes. Let us know what you thought of it. And, yeah, you can check it out on Amazon Prime. It comes with your subscription. Yep. Next film, you don't really have much to say about it because it's been 3 months now, but Janet finally saw Moana. Yeah. After I hyped up that soundtrack.
He really did. He was always singing songs and talking about it. And I've always wanted to go see it, but my boyfriend, he's a loser. He didn't want to go see it with me.
You can call him out, Victor. Victor, why didn't we see Moana earlier?
No, but yeah, we finally saw it, and it's fun. I really liked it.
What was your favorite song from the movie? Because with the soundtrack, like we said earlier show, the day the soundtrack came out was also the day the Weeknd soundtrack came out. The Weeknd's album came out, so Janet's like, The Weeknd. And I'm like, Moana! Lin-Manuel Miranda for the win!
Shiny was my favorite.
Oh my god, isn't it such a good song?
I mean, all of the songs are great, but Shiny was that was
the one I didn't like when I first saw it. I was like, that song just didn't click with me the way the others did. But I remember the next day at work, I'm just like, Tamatoa hasn't always been this glam. I was like, dang it. So now I listen to that song at least once a day when I'm getting ready.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. The whole movie's fun, and it also made me feel so many feels. I feel like I almost cried 5 times during that thing. But I liked it. You haven't seen it, check it out. The chicken is goofy and the pig is adorable, and I want one.
You want both or just one?
Either.
Which would you rather have?
The pig, of course.
You don't have the pig?
I was so upset that the pig didn't have that much airtime or screen time.
Yeah, I thought the pig was going to be more in the movie. He's in the trailer.
Yeah, there's even a poster of him on the boat. And he was never on the boat.
Was he really on? I didn't see that poster.
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah.
The other reviews we have are for Underworld Awakening and Hidden Figures, 2 very different films on 2 very opposite ends of the spectrum. One of them might get an Oscar nomination. Try to guess which one. So I guess we'll talk about Underworld Awakening, or not Underworld Awakening, Underworld Blood Wars. I'm sorry. Awakening was the 4th film, and Underworld Blood Wars is the 5th film in the Underworld franchise. I've been watching these movies since I was a kid, so I have a very fond association with this franchise, and I know every sense of my film judgment should override it and say this is a bad movie because there's some editing flaws. The CGI isn't very good. It's so corny and cheap at times, but oh, it was so awesome. It was so awesome. This is the role that made Kay Beckinsale a star. And every time she's Celine, she's awesome. And there are certain things that override my better judgment, and Werewolves is one of them. I love werewolf movies.
And Ryan Gosling is another
Ryan
one.
Ryan Gosling makes a werewolf movie, and I'll be totally happy. But it was just so fun, and it's cheesy, and it's melodramatic. It's almost like this version of
It's like a B film.
It's the definition of a B movie.
Yeah.
And it's almost like those like Hammer horror films from the 70s that they made from England that were like kind of like they made like 8 of them for like the Dracula and Frankenstein series. Where there's like a lot of blood and gore and sex, and they just made this weird convoluted mythology that's kind of enduring, kind of like also the Puppet Master films in the 80s and 90s. So it's like the best version of that. And like it's weird that they drop a lot of subplots from like the 4th film they were setting up, like that the humans have hunted the werewolves and vampires down. That storyline is just gone, and we've just picked up with a totally different plot thread. And there's like, it's funny because I went back and watched the first film, and the first Underworld's very grounded in like science and almost like this like trying to explain the werewolf and vampires as a virus. And here they're just like, forget it. If there's mysticism, we've got like ghost vampires in another world, and I was just like, I don't know where we're going, but it's so like they've got kills in this. Like one werewolf gets sliced in half, like right down the middle, and some vampires get torn apart, and it's awesome. And
so clearly, Richard was in love with it.
Celine does like a Predator Mortal Kombat fatality on one of the werewolves, and
All right.
I will say, I do want to call out one last thing though. For as much fun as I had with it, I will point out that the villain in the movie is like there's 2 villains. One of them, which is supposed to be a twist, but isn't a twist, you can see it coming from a mile away, is pretty awesome. She's the best part. I gave it away. That's a she. The other one, which is like the main werewolf guy, he is just like the first Underworld villain, but like the diet version of him. He's just like carbon copy. Don't care. You're not that interesting. They try to give him a thing at the end that makes him more interesting, but it's just not cool. But anyway, Underworld Awakening, not good, but hella fun.
That's how he closes that.
I want to go see it again.
Oh my god!
It was just so
but it wasn't good.
But it was so cheesy. I loved it.
Well, was Hidden Figures good?
That was good. That one is genuinely good. There's no spine ripping out in that one though, so that's my one.
Not.
That's my one. That's like my one critique is that they could have had a fatality.
Oh my god!
But yeah, Hidden Figures was a movie I didn't expect to like that much. I mean, I knew I was gonna like it, but I thought I was gonna like it kind of in the way I like Apollo 13 or Seabiscuit or $1 Million Baby. These like kind of good movies we just kind of forget about later. This one didn't even have to be that good. This is almost like when you read the story out, it's like kind of sounds like a Hallmark movie, like kind of inspirational. But
yeah, it's about the women in NASA during the arms race, right?
Yeah, and the fact that all their accomplishments have not been talked about until this long is so appalling.
Yeah,
it's like these women put in so much, and the fact that we're not talking the fact that it took them this long to make a movie about them is hella like shitty.
Well, I'm sure there's like thousands of stories that have been pretty much kind of hidden figures.
Yeah.
That of women or of minorities and stuff like that. But that's really awesome that this one features women and minorities.
Yeah, and it's funny that they actually bring that up is that it's not just hard being a minority, but also being a woman back then. So being both of those things was the worst.
And in like a STEM career.
Yes.
Like that's awesome.
It's almost it's some 60s politics are extremely messed up. It's like when was America ever great? Like it really does. It's like where is this hypothetical period that people keep talking about? Because you see it and it's like appalling the way people are treated. Like there are scenes like the scenes in this movie they get you angry. Like they make you angry, and then there are scenes that make you really happy.
Yeah.
It does that job really well.
That's awesome.
And the cast is really well done. The cast is phenomenal. I think it's sad that Taraji P. Henson, it just speaks to how good the movie is, that she is really good, but she's like the weakest part of the movie.
Oh, really?
And she's the lead, and she's still good, but like Octavia Spencer just kills it in every scene. She's just rad.
She's amazing.
And Mustafa Ali, or I can never pronounce his name. He's in Moonlight, and he's in Luke Cage. He just had the best year last year. He just is on fire. And Kevin Costner, he just brings such a credibility to the movie that he brings basically every good guy role he's ever played in throughout his career as this NASA 60s guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Parsons for Big Bang Theory really shocked me. I was like, Sheldon? What are you doing here? This is a real movie.
I didn't know he was gonna be in that.
This is a grown-up movie. You go back.
Funny.
And then Kirsten Dunst, I was like...
Does he play a nerd, though?
He plays a scientist, and he plays, a really, kind of... Someone who has to...
Sheldon.
He has to play, someone who kind of learns his lesson in, racism, gradually throughout the movie. And it was just really refreshing to see his character arc. And then Kirsten Dunst is in here. I was like, where have you been? She just kind of vanished for a while. But the real star of the movie is Janelle Monáe, I think is how you... There's an asterisk on her last name. Yeah, that's her. She just blew me away. I think 20 minutes in the movie, I was like, where has she been?
Mm-hmm.
Why is she not in more movies? And how long until she's in more movies? Because she is the standout. She's the juggernaut in this. She's the MVP, and I can't wait to see more of her.
It sounds like the whole cast was.
Oh, the whole cast was
killer.
great. Yeah, and on a technical level, it's nothing really spectacular. It's something that's gonna be like, oh my god, amazing.
It's like an inspirational story.
But it's a story that had to be told.
Yeah.
One that definitely needed it. Especially, I think that's one reason why it's doing well, because it reminds us that even in the worst times, you can still be optimistic and hopeful for something.
That's awesome. That's a nice note to leave off on.
Yeah, so guys, check out Hidden Figures. If you want a good time, check out Underworld Blood Wars. It's not very good.
If you want to help out Planned Parenthood, check out 21st Century
20th
Women.
Century Women.
20th Century Women.
21st Century Woman's a totally different film. And also opening this weekend is The Founder with Michael Keaton. And I think that's as far as I know. Oh, Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, and Split open this weekend. A lot of options to go see at the movies this weekend, guys. Don't see Triple X. I mean, if you want to go...
If you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you're into that, go see it. But you could just go watch Fast and the Furious. I mean, they're the same thing.
Who knows? Maybe not.
So, Janet, where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on YouTube, on My Road to Hollywood, and on Twitter at JanetTellis93.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RLFink94. And guys, don't forget to click subscribe, share with your friends, comment below, and stay tuned next week. We'll have more.
Thanks, guys.